Hello, my name is Garrett J. White, the authentic entrepreneur with paidtoplaytoday.com. And I wanted to give a short shout out, testimonial, a witness, if you will, to my main man, Woody Woodward. And with his emotional blueprint or fingerprint and what used to be known as the law of importance. So here's a 411. I've had a lot of coaches. I've paid for a lot of coaches. I invest in a lot of coaches and mentors in my life. And here's the basic premise I have when it comes to investing in a mentor. There are no accidents when somebody shows up in your experience. Woody was no accident for me. At the time I needed him to be there, it was no accident. It was absolutely on what I would consider to be divine purpose. I've had over 45 different mentors and coaches paying for investing in more, $50 clear up to as much as $50,000 for coaching. And I think at the time I was invested in Woody, it was $1,000 a session for 10 sessions. So it's 10 grand for 10 sessions. I think that same process he now gives away in a virtual space for a couple $100. But, I often remember sitting back in our coaching sessions and I'm kind of sitting here up at our cabin up here in Jackson, Wyoming. Just kind of hanging out in the river, some kayakers across the way. So anyways, I wanted to give kind of a shout out to Woody as far as a mentor and a coach. Not only did he show up in my life when I needed him to, but here's the results I can tell you. I could learn how to sell. I could learn how to influence. I could hire coaches to teach me how to speak more powerfully, or how to market online, or how to build my unique process or my unique selling system. And I had been a guy that was pretty committed to teaching people the principles of wealth consciousness and of spiritual enlightenment the best I could at the time, because this had been 3 years since Woody and I have worked together in a mentoring role like that. And the one thing I could never seem to get to, and I found this was a common problem that didn't just exist for guys like myself, but existed for a lot of different coaches and mentors and guys who are big speakers and trainers and authors around the country. That's why I have an opportunity to do every week is speak in big events and on the concepts of getting paid to play. And as I was sitting in that space, the most frustrating thing in the world was to be in power on stage, to be in power in my business, to be in power everywhere in my life but my marriage. And coming home, it was a total struggle. And Woody taught me the concept of how to become internal. Now that was like the most basic elementary conversation, yet it was the most profound conversation I'd probably had in 6 years from a mentor or coach. It was getting me aligned with the truth of who I was, getting me aligned to be in a space of power with, hey, this is who I am, and to feel important, to be enough, to be worthy. That was really a conversation of going inside. If the deeper I could go inside, the more that everything else around me, from this amazing forest that I'm in down here on the Snake River up in Jackson, up here into the mountains and down into the cabin area. I mean, look at this, just beautiful. That the rest of this outside world around me could become 10 times more powerful, and I could manifest what I wanted in life if I could become internal. The coolest thing that happened for me, though, with my marriage was the simple fact that, man, I was a jackass. I tell people oftentimes that my coaching with Woody was likely at the time salvation for my marriage. I'd already been married once and divorced. I was married again, and me and Danielle, my wife, now very, very on fire in our marriage here a couple years later after Woody's coaching, some other processes we've been through. But at that time, it was like string's end here. I had no idea what it meant to be internal. I had no idea what it meant to feel important by things that drive me from the inside out. I had no idea what it was like to understand my emotions, and it was a new game for me. So here's what I can tell you. If you're somebody who's thinking about working with Woody, or if you're thinking about being part of any of his production teams, or working with him in a one-on-one mentoring space, or using his law of importance, which is now the emotional fingerprint, and going through any of the new processes that he's got, here's what I can tell you. Woody literally, as the Buddha teaches, when the student's ready, the teacher will appear. If your heart's singing and his message is at all resonating, pull the trigger. It literally saved my marriage. And in that space of saving my marriage, it saved my life. So I have deep love for my main man, Woody Woodward, and what he's been able to create, and his commitment to excellence. And will forever, ever, ever be grateful to him for who he is, who he's been, and ultimately who he continues to expand to be. My name is Garrett J. White. I am the authentic entrepreneur, signing out here with my testimonial for Woody Woodward and the emotional fingerprint. Bye.